So, in looking at how we're dealing with da'wah in terms of Muslims and inviting Muslims back to Islam, we have to understand that there are many, many people that have been so distanced from Islam that you cannot expect them. If you meet a woman now in America who grew up, for instance, in a house, she might be an Afghani or a Pakistani or an Egyptian woman or Palestinian, but she's grown up in a very secular house, but she knows she's Muslim. And if you treat her as if, why aren't you wearing a hijab? Why don't you cover your hair? Don't you know that's haram? There's a man that came to the Prophet of Allah, a Muslim, and gave him as a gift, this is in Sahih Muslim, gave him as a gift a bottle of wine. That was his present to the Prophet ﷺ. And the Prophet ﷺ said, أَوَلَمْ تَعْلَمْ أَنَّ اللَّهَ قَدْ حَرَّمَ الْخَمَرِ. Didn't you know that Allah prohibited wine? He said, لَا يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ. I didn't know that. And then he whispered to the man who came with him, his servant. And he said, what did you just tell him? He said, I told him to go sell it. And the Prophet ﷺ said, الَّذِي حَرَّمَ شَرْبَهُ قَدْ حَرَّمَ بَيْعَهُ. The one that prohibited its drinking also prohibited its selling. And he said, oh, in that case, go dump it out. Now, the Prophet ﷺ didn't say to him, what's wrong with you? How dare you bring me a bottle of wine as a gift? I mean, you might invite a very secularized Muslim to your house and he comes with a bottle of wine as a gift. And there's Muslims that would say, A'udhu billah, go to hell or something, and slam the door on them. That's not what the Prophet ﷺ did. That's not how he treated that person, because he was looking at the level of the person's knowledge and consciousness. Now, one of the things about the people of Tasawwuf traditionally in the Muslim world is that they were known for their tolerance. They're people that were less condemnatory, less judgmental, which is obviously why they were very successful in calling other people to Islam. I'll give you an example. Habib Omar bin Mahfouz, who's a Yemeni scholar and has a madrasa in Tarim. An American was studying with him, and he said, if you want to call people in America to Islam, then it's based upon a condition that whoever you talk to, you see them as better than you. And he said, and the reason for that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا كُنَّ مُعَذِّبِينَ حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. We do not punish people until we send them a messenger. And so those people who have not heard the message of Islam have an excuse with their Lord for whatever they're doing. Whereas any of your disobedience, you have no excuse. And so that is a different way of looking. Instead of looking at people with contempt, you actually look at them with compassion. Instead of seeing them as your enemies, you see them as your potential friends and brothers. And that's what the Quran says, عَسَى اللَّهُ أَن يَجْعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ وَبَيْنَ الَّذِينَ عَدَيْتُم مِّنْهُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَاللَّهُ قَدِيرٌ وَاللَّهُ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Perhaps God will put between those that you now feel animosity or enmity towards, put between you and them love. And Allah is all powerful, and Allah is forgiving and merciful.